Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 75 of Kenshi. So, last episode I sent Plan and Beep into Mongrel while Green, back in town, was healing up for him from his surgery. I am going to have everyone, who doesn't like this place? Wait, what? You're home, Rhadamant. Why don't you like this place? That bothers me. I'm going to have everyone but Green start to head out already. And not Green. Why do I keep saying Green? Beep. Because Beep will very, very easily catch up. Given that he is like God tier speed. Really, I don't need to wait around for him. So Plan is going to wait around with Beep inside of Mongrel. While everyone else is going to start to run southbound towards the swamps. So we'll get going on that. Now, last episode, they are standing nose to nose. I wanted to train up Griffin here. But the thing is, I think these berserkers are, even with the Jete, are a little too strong. They're too scary strong. So instead, what I'll do is just go ahead and get rid of this berserker. In fact, we might even need Pengu's help because Griffin's already wounded. And we'll abduct a Fog for that purpose. While Wike here is going to man the new robotics bench. So obviously Wike is going to need to train up a lot in robotics to be able to make anything nice. But it has a racial bonus to robotics. So on the robotics bench, basically what we need to do, let's say I want to make scout legs. One scout leg is 4 robotic components and 10 electrical components. Robotic components are going to be made out of skeleton muscles and motors. A motor is electrical components and iron plates, and skeleton muscles are steel bars and press. For me to grind up, what I could do is just repeatedly make presses. At least we'll do that for now. And then I'll figure out how many presses I have and how many presses I can make into skeleton muscles. But it's going to be a very intense iron refinery, iron plate work. So I am definitely going to crank out another ore mine, because we are definitely going to use the hell out of our iron plates here. Now, the only issue with another ore mine is trying to get it in a high yield spot that turns green. That's the Jenga, or really the Tetris challenge now. Obviously, this spot right here is most ideal. Maybe there's another ideal spot. I don't want it too far from my original setup so that we don't have to do a lot of additional running. But it's really not turning green anywhere around here. Come on, just a little bit of green here. Clearly, these farms placed where they are, not my best idea given the ore concentration here. But I suppose something around 77, 76%, I guess we'll be fine. And then we're going to do a iron refinery, and we can plop that really anywhere around here. And this will give our home crew a little bit of engineering work to do. Beep should not... Oh, Beep. I must have accidentally queued you to leave Mongrel. Go back into Mongrel. We want you to stay there. So we're looking just to defeat this berserker here. There we go. And going to take his stuff. Trade some of it to Pingu. The wooden backpack, we don't need to give like a Fogman. And because this berserker has pretty high stats, I'm not going to be using him in the future. So I'm just going to discard him. I could first aid him up. He served a nice purpose. I don't need to get him killed. And I'm going to heal Griffin up until Griffin is full, and then I'll just go find a fog to abduct. All right, it's about daybreak. Wow, I right-clicked Beep to go into its store. I'm trying to go back into Mongrel. So we're here to sell off some of the armors I have. And maybe buy some armor plating. That's almost all of the armor I have. And then Beep will go ahead and catch up with the rest of the crew. Also, I'll check out for some robotics stuff. Always on the lookout. I'm going to actually go ahead and sell some of these inferior first aid kits and sell all the meds. I'm sure I'll want the meds, but I'm just doing a sort of cleaning out the inventory. Let's check to see if there's any maps that we don't already own. Oh, there's a skeleton arm. No, these guys don't have maps. All right, checking their robotics, the skeleton doctor. Stealth legs I don't really need. No, wow, nothing. Oof. Big oof. All right. Beep is going to head back to Roddenhall. I definitely don't want to watch him do it, though, because he moves too quickly. And we will be heading down to Fish Isle, the Fishman Isle down here, for some more AI cores. They're kind of the last of the AI cores that I know to be obtainable without going into the Ashlands. At some point, I'm going to have to go into the Ashlands, obviously, but for now, I can avoid that by just looting the beautiful coast of Fishman Island, the Fish Isle, the Gurglers. All right, so here, Plan and Beep are back home. Looks like the armor plating is full, so we'll put that away. There's no way steel plates are full. Plan here is going to grab the remainder of the bolts in case we need it. And maybe grab some food, too, to feed everyone. She is Meals on Wheels. And then Beep, follow Seto. We have a lot of toothpick bolts that we probably don't need anymore. Once this is all constructed up, I'm going to turn off the steel refinery so that the iron refineries can start making plates to get this stuff built. And then Gecko will have to be set to haul that stuff as well. But for right now, progress will probably come to a halt. And that's okay. At least we're getting some Masterwork white plate. So Griffin is almost all the way healed up. And what I want to be doing... Oh, here we go. That might be a slightly larger group than I really ought to be taking on. It almost seems like a raid just waiting to attack me. It's not indicated with red, though. I put away my frag axe because a frag axe swing isn't likely to incapacitate a fogman. It's way more likely to just kill him outright. There we go. Perfect. We already have our volunteer, and all that took was putting away my frag axe and pulling out a katana. That was really easy. Oh, Beep is almost caught up. That's why I went early. I knew Beep would have not an issue catching up. And I'm queuing Seto to move through the swamp. I ought to pay a little bit of attention once they enter the swamp. All right, we'll put the little fogger in. Close the gate. And we're going to need to loot him. And by that I mean just giving him some clothing. Oh, these can't even wear shirts. And super encumbrance. Have them use the Jete, because the Jete doesn't have a cutting damage and won't level up Dex, so they never end up attacking quicker, which is important. All right, Pengu, the watchdog, is going to be on hold and passive, so we don't kill the fog. And additionally, I need to splint, so we'll get Chung to do that. What are we doing here? Why did you take him out? I'm pretty certain I didn't say set free. I just said splint. Put him back in. Darn it. Alright, well, that arm is back to being healed, but we had to sort of whack the fog. So, fortunately, unconscious again. Entirely my fault. Now to check on Seto. Beep should be there now. Although Plan is fully capable of walking on her own, she tends to get bugged in terms of pathing. So instead of potentially having a lot of pathing issues, I'll just have Beep continue to carry her unless we get attacked. Beep is only a little bit encumbered from carrying her anyway. So that's ideal. And it's good that I'm watching some swamp ninjas that are mad at me. I'm pretty used to that. Going through the thick swamp. I kind of wish the swamp was easier to traverse and you didn't have to kind of watch every time you went through it. But given the dangerous nature of blood spiders, even at any level, as I've said before, you really do have to be careful about traversing the swamp. It's pretty easy to... Oh, yeah, here's case in point. We would like, or I would like, to not swim. I guess we'll cut through Mudtown. We'll head south this way. I want to be heading to Fishman Isle, or Island. Fish Isle, they have a bunch of different names. That's why I get confused. Guess I could poke into Shark. It couldn't hurt. It's not like I'm wanted here or anything. This place is pretty tame. And see what they have to offer. I don't really recall all of the industry that's here. It's just general good. This is Mudtown, by the way. I know it's not Shark. Are they still chasing me? That's cute. Now that I have the peeler machine, I can very, very safely, although a little grotesquely, replace my organic limbs with robotic ones. Being on the lookout for robotics all the time is my new full-time job. That's probably the next big step, is to do a lot of strength training on my raider crew and to replace organic limbs with robotic ones. Yes, this will increase my need for robotic beds, but robotic beds, or you repair your limbs really quickly if they're robotic. This here is Big Shop. Man, I wish it was a little bit more specific than that. Come in, Outlander, sure. And blah. Absolute blah in there. Is this just shop? Yeah, they don't really have names. You guys really don't know how to sell yourselves here. If everything's named shop, no one knows where to shop. Well, here's the Swampers backpack shop. Maybe they have maps. I doubt it, but it doesn't hurt to check. We're here anyway. Oh, long coat. I'll take some long coat. Map of Vein, don't need it. Map to World's End, already been there. Alright, that was a waste. I can hear their mounted crossbows going off like crazy. So let's head to the High Bone Fields, and that will take us down to Fishman Island, or Fish Isle, to kill King Gurgler and to loot the ancient tech lab that they've infested, inhabited, etc. Alright, our fog friend is up. He should have the Jete, and this should prove to be a slightly easier opponent than... I don't really see a backpack on him. I thought I encumbered him. Oh yeah, he's super encumbered. I just don't... I guess there's not a visible... Fogmen don't get a visible backpack or something. So we are at 28 strength, and this is Training with a Fogman 101. Raiders are getting targeted, so I had to look back there. Probably blood spiders. Or maybe swamp ninja. I thought I just saw someone chase me. Either way, as long as I'm swimming, I ought to be faster. Ah, it's a swamp ninja. Cute. Well, just keep following me. What kind of long cut is Seto taking? I wonder. I'll just queue her up to run straight to where I want to go. If she's not going to use the roads, then who really cares? Alright, so this fog hasn't even landed a hit on Griffin yet, so I would say this training regimen works. The homesteaders are getting attacked, though. Is this what, like a little fog raid? Oh yeah, they're bashing the gates down. Not allowed. I have to be very careful as to not murder the wrong ones here. Oh, actually, the real threat is the 100... Yeah. Darn it. He was my sparring partner, you monsters. Let's pick him up and put him in the bed. Should have kept that gate closed. Alright, checking his loot. Yep. Everything is correct. Let's have Chung go splint him. And we'll rest a bit. Alright, so the automated drill, whatever it's called, is up and running. And soon the refinery will be done as well. Chung and Shrike are fixing the gate. I'm going to have Griffin load up on extra calories. You know what I could do is just if I wanted animal skins, I could skin a bunch of fogmen. I don't know if that would make me worse than the fogmen, but here's what you would do is you just plop them into the peeler machine and just don't even worry about them. Just let it peel. I only picked that one specific one up because I'm trying to close the gate behind me, and he was on the wrong side. Not likely to survive, mind you, but on the wrong side. Alright, Chung, let's check in. So what this peeler machine is supposed to be doing is... it creates, I guess, human skin, or animal skin in this case. I haven't really ever seen the peeler machine go full cycle, so this is for research, not for cruelty, I promise. So it's down to nubbins. Can we just hold here for a second? And the peeler machine is done. So unlock it. Maybe we just... Alright, here's an animal skin. Or really a fog skin. Oh, and the whole thing I accidentally dismantled, I assume. Alright. I can always move the peeler machine. In fact, one of you suggested that I not have it in my kitchen. And that's probably a pretty wise thing to do. The refinery is good. My main crew is being targeted, but not currently attacked. Ah, they're near the slave markets. All sorts of weird stuff down there. Alright, Gecko. So, here's another iron refinery to manage. And... where is the... Huh. As long as it's working. Alright, let's flick that back on and see if we start generating more iron plates than we are using. That's the hope. There seems to be a lot of iron ore backlogged. She might actually need some additional hauling help. But I'll focus on the industry later. Oh, we're getting attacked by beaks. Probably walk through a nest or something. Oh boy. Actually not good. We had a bunch of people get knocked out while I wasn't really paying attention. I was messing around with my new iron refinery. Alright, everyone is conscious. Everyone's back to normal. Silvershade and Wing Wang are a little roughed up, but we're actually most of the way to where we want to be. I'll just have to be a little bit more careful about where I walk, what I walk through and get attacked by. Before we go to the island, I will definitely create camp and heal a bit. So when you approach this island, you will see, here's the bridge out here. You'll see a bridge. So you don't have to swim it, which is good, because I'm not a very good swimmer. Alright, there's more beak things around. Hello, beakers. There's, what, 6 more? And our ranged people aren't set to range. Probably don't need much more than 3 beds. So Seto created a bed. I kind of wish he hadn't. Ideally, I would have the people that need rest to create the beds themselves. So, let's see. Wing Wang. Green. And they're talking about Fish Island now. Is he made of fish? Yeah, that's not exactly how... I guess, I mean, technically true? I don't know. So let's check the rest of these guys. I don't need to be perfectly healed up, just not mashed up. I don't need a campfire. Camp bed. Stubbs. Where is Stubbs? Stop doing that. Actually, Stubbs, you could go ahead and make your own bed. You're a little wounded too. Crumble is 2. Wow, actually I took a lot more damage than I thought. Take it back. Ooh, and Mew? Wow. Alright, yeah, I was not paying attention in these beak things because I wasn't attacking them automatically. They mushed me a little bit. But it should be good now. Actually, there's skin spiders and beak things beating each other up over there on the horizon. That looks like fun. Alright, our little friend is... all set to fight. I'm going to quickly loot him and give him a few sandwiches. Keep up his strength. He's playing dead. Alright, I know the solution to this. Welcome back. This is wonderful. So Wike here is just making a ton of presses. Oh, currently aimless because I probably don't have iron plates. So while everyone heals up, I am going to totally kill off all of Gecko's orders. And then re-queue some. So I'm first and foremost hauling to the iron refinery. Then I will haul the plates to storage. And let's see if she can manage to keep all these iron refineries up and running. And then after that, haul to the steel refinery. This is probably more work than she can handle, to be honest. But Bard here can haul to the steel refinery. Oh, this is so much better than fighting the Berserker. Absolutely. And it's pretty easy to abduct one of them, too. They're suffering a teeny dust storm down there. Alright, Aramid. Molly, no. Who should... Wike. Wike, you are going to run the corpse furnace and the item furnace, and then do your robotics. God, this is so easy. A caveman could do it. I'm almost thinking another iron refinery might not be the worst idea. It seems like I have... No, I actually... Output is full. I was thinking I have more iron than I have refineries, but these refineries are all full up on iron all the time. Now, if Molly wasn't making frag axes the whole time, it'd be a lot easier to stockpile steel. But part of the problem is, with all the frag axes she has queued, steel is very rare to come by. Because she's constantly just using it for frag axes. Now, joy is, if I am wounded, I can just walk away, and the fog kind of just stands there. Looking at my current battery charge, all of the additional industry that I've added to my town here has definitely taxed my my power grid, I should say. So let's make the house from up. I'm going to undo that last one because it's a little too close to the stairs. Because I see my power going down quickly. Okay, I'm going to power off this drill. I'm not even sure that I need the third drill on to keep these iron refineries topped up. Okay, speaking of topped up, everyone that was resting should be more or less good to go. They don't need to be perfect. I don't think the trip into Fishman Isle is going to be all that demanding. King Gurgler is not particularly difficult, but I'm heading here due to the fact that it is one of the only sources of AI cores left that is easily obtainable without, you know, importing saves or any of that. And I didn't want to cheese it that way. And with these AI cores, I'll be able to have all the robotics of the things I want. The heavy lifter and the stealth, or the scout legs. I'm going to have everyone cross this bridge without following anyone. Hopefully they will stay on the bridge and not dip into the water like Plan and Beep just did. Because the water will take infinitely longer to swim across. It's good that there's a connected bridge there. And some of the fishmen are starting to attack. Now, the regular fishmen, you can think of them as sort of like the fog. They're not particularly strong. They're just like little fish people. And we just massacred a rather large group of them. They gurgle, they make noise. They have meat on them. So if we wanted to finish them off, we could. Because they're not very tough, I'm not all that worried about needing to finish them off like I did with the skin bandits. The skin bandits were a lot crazier in terms of strength. So on this island, there's a bunch of... Oh, we messed... Crabs want to fight? Okay, crabs. Again, there's plenty of meat on them. This one has... These have non-foul meat, so that's why I'm looting them. I don't suspect that this will... I'll need to re-up my food, but you never know. Oh, here's a large group. As you can see, I'm not actually queuing anyone to fight melee, or ranged rather. I'll just save my bolts for when I feel like I need them. All right, so that nest is all wiped out. Let's make sure to follow Seto. So here's their like little fish capital, the fish isle. That does not have the research I'm after. I'm headed into the island lab. And the island lab, I'll probably head to Fish Isle after I do the island lab. But the island lab is what's important. And I'm just sort of skirting the coast around it. I will inevitably piss off some of them. As you can see, they have like little nesting grounds. But I'm not shying away from a fight. Stubbs, you don't need to be ranged. Or even have jobs on. And it's a total massacre. Homesteaders are being attacked. It's just some messing with the gate. Alright. Griffin is wounded. This Fogman versus other ones is a lot stronger now. As you can see, he has a attack much higher. So we're slowly turning him into something scarier, a scarier sparring partner. But at the end of the day, the Fog are very replaceable. So all I need to do is, once they get a little too strong, I can swap them out. And I got a good, I don't know, 5-6 strength off of sparring that one. Alright, Seto, go to the island lab. Forwards. Oh, there's another. That doesn't even look like a nest. That's just a wandering group of them. Given how easy everything's been so far, I might not even use my bolts. I might just keep my crossbowmen on melee and storm this place. A night raid. Alright, so here's the first floor. No one's around. There's some small emperor statues. That's old empire stuff. The next floor up is likewise sort of abandoned. And the top floor has King Gurgler and a bunch of Gurglers. So what I'm going to do is run deep into the room. So we're not fighting on the ramp. And I'll leave it to play out. So King Gurgler is a very, very big fishman, and he has a Meito weapon. He has a combat cleaver Meito weapon. And then there are some Gurglers that are tougher than others. There's Alpha Gurglers that should be in here somewhere. The bodies are kind of piling up, so it's hard to determine alphas from the rest. Maybe there's no alphas in this group. And they're a little bit tougher, but they're not all that tough. King Gurgler with his Meito weapon are really the real attraction and the real threat here. But he's getting his butt kicked, even through just brute force. All the other mini Gurglers are dead. Yeah, here's an Alpha Gurgler, for instance. So attack of like 45 versus the attack of like 14. Oh, King Gurgler just went down. And unlike other bounties, this one I just bag ahead. And there's a combat cleaver reward as well. The Meito combat cleaver. So the combat cleaver is good against robots and has high armor penetration. And is a fairly heavy weapon, so I'm not sure if it's something I'm going to immediately equip. I guess I could give it to Seto. Seto has a Paladin Cross. Yeah, Seto might be strong enough for it. No, that kind of encumbers her even more. Let's see. It could go to Ron. That would make the most sense. So I'm going to have Ron ditch his other 2 weapons, and his hacker class sucks, so he's going to need to train on it. But at least he's not super encumbered with it, which is the main concern. So I didn't actually come here for that Meito. I mean, the Meito weapon, don't get me wrong, is good, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here for the AI cores. So checking these little barrels and stuff that's locked down. There's some ancient books. I'm just going to have everyone pick everything. Oh, some of them are getting back up. Ancient books. All right, let's check the ancient staves. A paladin cross. That is, I guess it's worth something. Let's free up some space. I don't need to do the looting on Rhadamant, but that's just what I've been doing. I guess robotic components, now that I'm into manufacturing robotics, wouldn't be a terrible thing. So we've seen 2 AI cores so far. There's some skeleton muscles I could buy or take. Engineering research, desert sabers, more ancient books. At this point, ancient books are mostly going to be used by me for battery research, which is pretty boring. I'm going to have everyone go down a floor. I'm pretty sure I've fully looted the King Gurgler floor. I just want to be really sure. So this looks like a spawning pit. These are just corpse disposal. I'm just curious if I actually use it as corpse disposal. Where's Rhadamant? Yep, so I can shred them if I want. Their eggs here are not high-ticket items, unlike beak things. They're just 240. I mean, they're not terrible to loot, but by the time you ever come down here for looting and raiding and all that stuff, you probably don't need eggs that are worth a few bucks, a few cats. All right, let's get rid of this corpse disposal. I was mostly joking about that. All right. That's King Gurgler himself. I guess I'll just dispose of him. I already have his head, so I don't need the rest of the body. We'll destroy his DNA. All right. Everyone heads to the bottom floor, and the first floor, Rhadamant will loot up. I just want to be nice and thorough, not miss anything. Because KLR arms, whole lot of fish. In Gurgle culture, there's a lot of fish. Masterwork jackets. Most of this is not going to yield anything. Most of these boxes can't be interacted with. These can, though. There we go. And a third AI core, or AI, yeah, AI core indeed. All right. That all looks good. Have everyone leave. And Rhadamant loot the bottom floor. Doesn't look all that hopeful for more stuff. Yeah, there's barely any boxes here. Another skeletal arm. These barrels aren't lootable. Yeah, I think we're done. There's some power cores and skeletal muscles and stuff like that that I didn't pick up, but I don't need to grab everything. Just all the important stuff. So we didn't even use any crossbows in this fight. King Gurgler is not that tough of an enemy. There we go. Nice and arranged. Follow Seto, and Seto can head to Fish Isle. Now that we've cleared out the island lab, might as well purge this whole island of fish people. Let's see if we can't spar a little bit more. We might be out of... We might need a new sparring partner. We'll see how quick Griffin goes down. Alright, Wike. Up to 45. No, not bad. Now, I'm not bothering to make any of the robotics limbs until Wike's capable of master, because I'm not going to want specialist stuff. Chung is working on the research. I queued up a lot of battery research. And we definitely want to take a look at this fight. It must smell so fishy. If anyone's ever been to like a fish market that have lobster, as much as some people like the taste of lobster, hundreds of pounds of lobster cannot smell good. Especially rotting in noonday sun. I guess it's sunrise, but oof, that would be one horrendous stench. I don't know, this Fogman, still a valid sparring partner. He hasn't ripped apart Griffin yet. Alright, I have no idea why I'm being xenophobic and fighting all of the fishmen in their own capital, but there's really nothing here for me. There's a few MK and Katan weapons and generator cores, but there's no AI cores here or anything. We're just feeding the carrion animals at this point. Absolutely no reason to be doing this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's really anything to be gained from raiding here, other than a few green and blue. I mean, if we take a look, like this Nodachi, I don't know, we can sell it for like 6K. I mean, that's not nothing, but it's maybe not worth wiping an entire species out of the world. That's just my take. Well, Beep just grabbed all of their decent weapons. Let's go and throw some of this out. Make some more space. Throwing the meat out. That was weird. 6 meat turned into 2. Alright, that is one full inventory there. Alright, time to leave. I've done enough ecological damage here. Wiped out their leader. For no other reason than I wanted a few little pieces of science. To these fish people, I'm probably just Himmler at this point. Or Dr. Death or whatever. Sorry, fish people, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Really, I am. Oh, but crab people. That's a different story. All right, so the running over here independently didn't really work. Let's see if the follow home works. Ooh, that's even worse. Yeah, that is atrociously bad. Even Seto left the terrain. Well done. We're going to have to wait a little bit for plan to catch up. Now, looking at the wear and tear, there's a little bit of wear and tear. I mean, the robotics do heal a little bit. So as you can see, they are slowly getting, I don't know, repaired. I don't really understand by what mechanic can they just regenerate their limbs. But Beep is going to pick up plan, so the plan's pathing isn't all messed up. And I am just about out of time for this episode. So this was the raid on Fishman Isle. And next episode, I'm going to really have to dig deep about what to do. I mean, one of the things that I could do that is somewhat obvious is to try to obtain more robotics or just pick some bigger fights. Maybe take out a Holy Nation outpost or guard station or something like that. But if you have any ideas, drop me a line, and I do hope that you tune in next time. So thank you for watching episode 75, and I'll catch you all later. Adios.